I just sent my proposal in to my editor with like 3 sample chapters plus an introduction, and that's in large part due to Amplify.
And I love that there's not the pressure to write every day, but to just keep writing going.
Yes, so my first article is going to be coming out next month.
Yay!
Yay!
My name is Adriana Santos, and I'm an assistant professor of English at a small HSI in San Antonio on the south side, which is a historically underserved area of town. I specialize in women of color and Latinx, Chicanx literature.
I'm Briley Rasmussen, and I'm an assistant professor of museum studies. My research is primarily as a historian.
I am a historian by training, but I teach science and technology studies at UC Davis.
My name is Felicia Thomas, and I'm assistant professor of history at Morgan State University. I'll be submitting my promotion and tenure portfolio on September 21st, or by September 21st at 5 p.m. So,
I'm Heather Carlton. I work, I'm not tenure track. I work in public health, and a lot of my responsibilities include writing manuscripts, leading projects, leading groups, stuff like that.
My name is Jennifer Morrison, and I'm an assistant professor of political science and public administration at Murray State University in Murray, Kentucky, which is in the western part of the state.
So I'm Carrie Ocasio, and I'm an assistant professor at Westchester University in the Graduate Department of Social Work.
What would you say was your reason for joining the program?
How do you manage all of those different components of the job and the life?
Mm-hmm.
And I think definitely, like, one of the things I really love about the program is that it's for women.
Mm-hmm.
And it's also like pre-tenure women, because those are unique pressures.
Yes.
I really wanted a space where I could focus on preparing for tenure and promotion, where that would be central, where I would have some support and some strategies for what is a sort of overwhelming and stressful process.
Turns out I have one more yearly evaluation for 2020, and then I'm up for tenure. And I have nothing published. And every year when I go up for my eval, I get told nothing published. So I was concerned about that, and I was not confident about my writing.
What would it kind of mean for you to make it work? Like, what's the payoff for you?
You and I recently had a one-on-one kind of coaching call that I was lucky enough to have like office hours with you one day, where we talked about kind of what would your plan be?
Yeah.
And I think that's what this program also has really done for me too, is to take me out of other people's expectations or external validation, and to really open up space of what do I want with my life and what do I want to do. And so I have several other projects that are important to me that kind of make me the human that I am.
Knowing my mission, knowing what I'm doing, finding those moments to be happy and celebrate it, and just creating more like positivity around everything has made like such a huge difference.
So we, in Amplify, we use a 9-spoke framework that has like 3 major parts in it. One is clarify, which is really about like getting clear on your mission and your goals. The second one is demystify, which is like all the systems and processes and stuff. And then multiply, which is like, okay, how do we kind of extend out now what we've learned? So which one of those 3 areas do you think has made the biggest impact on your career?
I guess it's demystify, but really starting with strategizing your pipeline. So kind of from the end of clarify through demystify. I think those were really the most helpful pieces, because it's like, okay, I know what I need to be doing. I need to be writing, but how do I actually make that happen? And so it was that part of the program that really helped me put that into place.
Probably the multiply was just really, really important. And just by a little bit. I mean, I think that it's like having a three-legged tripod, right? The tripod doesn't work with one leg or even two legs, right? It's all three of them kind of working together. So
yeah, absolutely.
I can't imagine one without the others.
I don't know that I could pick one.
Okay.
Like Clarify has been great because I really did need to think more clearly about my mission statement. Who did I want to be in the room with? What all of that means. And then align to that. And thinking not just about how my research aligns to that, but how I can maybe get my service and my teaching to align so that there are these synergies.
Could you talk about like one thing that you're implementing that you've learned in the program so far?
My consistency in my writing has been amazing. I write every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday, like without fail. And even if it's not writing, I'm still devoting the time to like my projects every single Monday, Wednesday, Friday. So
amazing.
That's pretty awesome. I'm not overworking. I don't work on the weekends. And I'm totally guilt-free about saying no to people now.
So the whole Tiger Time idea it has changed how I write, because normally I would have written when I had time. And when I had time was not when I was most engaged and thoughtful. So it's made a big difference. And then I've also gone on to teach the people who work in my team about Tiger Time. I've set up a writing sprint with them. So writing sprints have been really helpful to me too, to just, make sure for a week I'm writing every single day.
Tell me a little bit about like the results that you've had since joining the program.
The number one result of the program, I think, has been the centering of my well-being.
Joy.
Like I was literally crying in the woods, Kathy. So yeah, I mean, but that is like, I think, that is important to me, is that I have found a certain level of like, just joy around my work, which then makes the work happen easier. Since we started working together, I've had an essay. I wrote an essay and had it published.
Fantastic.
I wrote an essay that is currently in the revisions stage.
Great.
I have received readers' reviews on my manuscript that I'm currently working on. And I got a new job.
Woohoo! That's amazing.
Yeah. Okay. So my book is under review. I had 2 already written, 45-minute talks that I wanted to turn into articles. So one of those is now also under review, and the second one I'm still working on converting it. But I'm hopefully in another couple of weeks it'll be ready to go out for review. Yeah. So those results, and then also writing some very small grant applications. So I put about 4 of those so far, and I've gotten 2 of them.
That's fantastic.
Which was fantastic. Yeah.
My manuscript is, the proposal I just finished and sent out to editors just a couple weeks ago. Yeah. And it was hard to let that go. I don't know if I would have had the courage to put it out in the world, if not for Amplify.
I feel more confident about, in general, the imposter syndrome thing has kind of diminished.
Since I joined the program, which was 6 months ago, 7 months ago?
6, 7, yeah. Mm-hmm.
I have submitted 3 database articles, 3 chapters, and 3 grants.
That's insane.
Right? I'm just like, wow. Oh my God. And it doesn't, that sounds exhausting when I say that, but I don't feel exhausted. I'm still excited and invigorated by that. Yeah. And I was teaching too. I mean,
think back to when you were considering joining the program. and then finish this sentence. I almost didn't join because.
I almost didn't join because it is a bit of money, and I had to like decide the cost benefit on that. And I'm so glad that I did it. I threw, everything that I had in my, startup funds and my indirects. And I said, if I go to no other conferences this year, if I do nothing else, I'm going to do this.
Didn't join because I was my like year later self is like laughing at myself sitting in my car in the woods. I almost didn't join because I was worried that I would fail at it.
Oh.
Yeah. Like I was worried that like it was another thing on my plate and like I was just going to be like, because there's just so much on the plate already, I'd just be crappy. I'd just be bad at it.
Right.
As soon as it started, I was like, I've got this. Like, this is like, it's one of those things like you give it a little bit of time and it makes like, it just kind of, the value of it like gives you more time somehow.
Yes. Money was something that I did have to consider because it is an investment, and I didn't have to pay anything out of pocket because I was able to use your advice and get my department to pay for some. I had some grant work that paid for other parts of it, but I did have to decide whether or not that was how I wanted to use those funds.
Absolutely.
So I do think the finances were one thing that, I did have to seriously consider. But I also questioned whether or not I actually needed the program, because I did feel like I was in a place where like I have been productive in my writing and my research. And so I wondered if your program would offer me anything different or new, right? Because I have been involved in lots of other professional development trainings, either offered through my institution or through other organizations. And so I felt like I've had a lot of good advice and I've been able to implement a lot of those things. So I wondered if, this would be a good use of my money, given that I felt like I was starting off in a pretty good place.
Right. And what do you think? Like now that you're almost like now, I guess May is when you finish the program. So it's, you're getting to the end.
Yes, I absolutely think it was worth the investment.
Okay. So tell us your favorite part about this program.
The support, the community. I don't think I've talked about that at all. So maybe I'll really dig into that. But just the commiseration, the laughter, the tears, the stories that we shared, the advice that we gave. I mean, just having a group of women that really understand what you're going through is amazing.
The retreats.
Oh, yay. Tell us about retreat.
Oh my gosh. The retreat, the retreat, that was kind of the add-on to the program. It was optional for participants. And, another one of those like, oh, do I think I can invest this amount of money? And I just thought, why would I go through the whole program and not do the best part? Like, really? And so I did, I signed up for the retreat and it was life-changing. Really, because I think in my entire writing life, in my entire kind of scholarly, academic, professional life, I had never been so supportive, so supported, I should say, in my work. And I was astonished by what I was able to accomplish.
It's hard to pick one. So if it's okay, I'll pick two.
Go ahead.
The mastermind calls have been super helpful to have that like time to talk with women and talk through your challenges every couple of weeks has been a really nice piece of the program. I think my viewpoint would have been different if I had just done this alone in a bubble and worked through the classes but didn't interact with people. So I really enjoyed the mastermind and also Trello. So learning how to do Trello boards for everything, that would be the second thing I really, put into operation my own life too.
So my last hot seat, I was having a really bad day. I was feeling really frustrated with my writing. And to just be able to say, here's everything, just like spew out all of the like garbage and then have people say, yeah, I know how you feel, or here's, what I've done when I've had, situations like that. And particularly that it's women, it's other people who many people who also have children and know how to, juggle all of that, or at least know what it feels like when you're trying to juggle all of that. So I really like the support and community.
Who would you recommend this program to and why?
I think it'd be valuable for people at all stages. I think, especially if you're starting out, I think it'll help build foundational skills that will allow you to start off successfully, right?
Mm-hmm.
But I also think it's appropriate for people who have been burned by the system.
Yeah.
Right. And that you're coming in to get some repair.
Short answer, I think Amplify is best for someone who is very clear that they want, need, have to focus on their own scholarship, and willing to entertain setting some other things aside.
I really think that like everyone can benefit from this.
Mm-hmm.
And even if people think like, oh, I've got this, trust me, you don't. Like everything, it will be better.
I do regularly right now. I didn't do that before. So that's been super helpful for making the writing not the hurdle that I once thought it was, that it's something I can do for a half an hour a day as long as I do it during my tiger time.
In this community, I don't feel defensive. I feel very, free to really share where I'm at, and everybody else is doing the same, and then we really support each other.
I feel like now it's been like it's been a shift in my mindset in that I'm actually really enjoying what I'm doing. And yeah, I don't enjoy everything I do, right? But it's like by creating the structure and creating like the vision and the motivation has kind of brought back and reminded me why I'm here and why I do what I do, that I'm here for a reason, and there is a reason why I decided to do this, right? That sometimes got lost.
That's one of the things that like I love about the women who are in this program is that they create this community. I mean, like we're doing something, right? So we're doing something, right, to attract people and kind of select people into the program and all, but the women in the program are creating, wonderful things and supporting each other in such wonderful ways that I really think that cultural change in academia, like the way to make it happen is by developing those kind of relationships.